Another day, another video. Sunday today. Sun day. Fitting, no? So today, I've got some CPR training, nice and early. It's at 9 o'clock, but it's far away. It's in where I do my dragon boating. There's a guy who also trains us to do CPR. My mom already taught me how to do CPR. She's a nurse. But just to get certified so that people believe that you know what you're doing. It's funny, eh? People don't trust each other for some reason. Trust isn't assumed. I don't know if it ever was. I wasn't around 1,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, so I don't know what ancient humans were like. But today, in modern society, nobody trusts each other. Unless, of course, you have a piece of paper that says you're trustworthy. Because what better way to trust someone than to get a third party to verify that they're trustworthy? And then we never question that third party. They're always trustworthy. But what the hell even is that third party? Who knows? Face to face, human contact, if I look someone in the eyes, I don't really trust them most of the time. I need that piece of paper. It's kind of messed up. Kind of bothers me sometimes. Kind of makes me sad sometimes. We can't trust each other. Because I know CPR. I got taught how to do it. I researched it. I practiced it. But how would anyone know if I don't have that piece of paper, right? It's the same for education. Oh, I like this angle. It's kind of cool. Makes my hair look good. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's the same for university. Or I guess trades could be a little bit different. Because you could just start working that trade with your dad. Let's say he's a carpenter, and he'll teach you when you're young, and eventually his clients will know, oh yeah, that's little Chris. His big new son, he knows how to do metalworking. He knows how to bend stuff and cut it in the right way. He knows how to work metal and put it together and weld it. But when it comes to the higher stuff, like engineering, like what I'm in, nobody believes that you know what you're doing until you get that piece of paper, until you get that diploma. Well, I guess I'm just thinking about some of my problems right now. Some of the struggles I'm going through. It's the reason I don't like university much. That whole trust thing. And then I've got other opinions about it too, how they're not actually teaching engineering there. They're teaching something else, something corrupted. They're teaching you to be robots, machines, just doing calculations for someone else's ends, for someone else's purposes, doing work for someone else. I mean, sure, we need those engineers. We need people who know how to build bridges, who know how to build planes so they don't fall out of the sky. Surely there's a better way. Surely there's a better way. But I'm not hitting on this CPR course because it happened last weekend too. Everyone said it was a blast. It was just friends hanging out together, having fun, maybe just rehearsing what they already know. I have no problem with that. And of course, some people don't know how to do CPR. Their moms weren't a nurse or a doctor, so they don't know how to do it. They need a cool instructor to tell them how to do it. Help them, guide them. Good teacher. Good environment. Some practical work too. I heard these courses are pretty well designed. You get to practice on the dummies. You talk with your classmates. You discuss. You debate. But this formal higher education stuff, sometimes it's devoid of that. It just makes me sad because it's not what I thought it would be. So here's hoping that today's CPR course isn't like university. Maybe it's a little more practical. Maybe I'll enjoy it. I think I will. It is a sunny Sunday, after all. So I just have to remember to let those problems melt away. There's clear blue skies ahead. Everything's gonna be alright. What's up? Just want to give a little update after the CPR course. It went really well. Pretty much everyone passed. Nobody fails the CPR course. The instructor makes sure of it. And it was fun too, Like I said, it was just hanging out with friends in a great environment with a great teacher, doing actual practical work. You don't have to come and sit at a table and just listen to somebody talk and lecture for hours and do that weeks upon weeks. It's just straight to the point. Keep it simple. Obviously, you could think of 10 billion different circumstances, every situation under the sun, and they could pile that knowledge, just pile drive it in there. But why? Why when you can keep it simple, concise, just the important parts? Under the pressure, you're going to forget most of it anyways. You're just going to remember those important basic details. And it makes me wonder, again, going back to formal higher education, university, they pile drive so much knowledge into your head, and then they test it as if you're going to need it tomorrow, and that plane's going to crash out of the sky tomorrow if you don't know it. Holy shit. Let's go. Exam time. It's all that matters. And then you do another 4 years of schooling and you never see that material again and you forget it. Now, of course, I get it. You're there not so much to learn the material. Yeah, it comes secondary. You're made aware of certain things. But what you're really there for is to learn how to learn. But that's not the focus I've been getting. That's not what I've been through. It's too bad. I wish it was. If this CPR course, oh man, if this was in university, boy, I'm sure it would be very different. It would be like a 10-week course, 15-week course, and they would go everything under the sun. Yeah, well, if it's a car crash and the car's in a puddle, one car T-boned, they'd give you all sorts of details and they'd find a way to stretch it out and just jackhammer that information into your head, and then you'd have to regurgitate it back out. And you'd probably only spend like a couple of hours actually on a dummy, and that would be the shit you'd forget. But maybe in the moment you'd remember something else. Concise, simple, practical, hands-on, actually doing it, and then repeating it. That's the important part. Now, going back to the whole certification thing, I feel like I've given this third-party trust system a pretty bad rap. I get it. I work as a coach over here. I coach dragon boating. I should know how to do CPR. I should. And I took it upon myself to do it. But some people, they don't. And so we, in a way, kind of like
force them to do it, which is a whole other story on itself. But I guess there's no quicker way in a panic when someone literally has a cardiac arrest, say on the boat, to just yell out, "Yeah, I'm CPR certified." Then everyone trusts you and it's easy. But if you're not certified, the people actually have to know you personally. And sometimes it's not the case. I coach teams where I'll be the replacement coach, or there'll be an event and it'll be a one-time thing. It'll be people coming in for like a corporate event, let's say, and they have no idea who I am. So they don't trust me. I wish we lived in a world where that trust was assumed, but sadly we don't. And so practically, having that certification, it's like a necessary evil in a way. Now, for certain other things, see, I was talking to one of my friends here. His name is Andriy. Came from Ukraine. He's a mechanical engineer. Same thing I'm trying to be. And he used to actually work as an engineer. He can't do it here. He doesn't have the right qualifications. He worked for years. He went through years of schooling. And he actually worked. He did the practical stuff too. But he doesn't have the paperwork that Quebec needs. So he has to go back to school for that? What? Why? And then it's the same thing with coaching. He was a coach for canoe kayak for years and years. He says he's been paddling and stuff since he said he was a teenager, like 14 years old. And he comes here and he wants to put two and two together. He wants to make money and do his dream as well, which is inspiring people, motivating people, getting them into the sport. So he applied to the city, but no, he needs some kind of étude de loisir, which is like, basically he needs a degree to be like a gym teacher. Why? He's been doing this for years. Again, lack of trust. Lack of trust. So why am I making this video? In a way, I want to share this message with you guys. Trust people more. Don't judge books by their cover. Up until recently, like today, I had no idea how many years of coaching my friend has been doing. I've seen him, and he's a decent coach. We disagree on certain techniques. Every coach has their different styles. But he's effective. He's effective. He's good at what he does. And it's because he's been doing it for a long time, and he's passionate about it. And I'm guilty too, you know. Like I said, I didn't trust him fully until he actually told me what he's capable of. Until I saw with my own eyes what he was accomplishing. And as I grow older, I realize people are way more incredible than just what the book cover seems to be. People are a lot deeper. People are way more trustworthy, way more skilled, way more... They're incredible. Humans are incredible. So I encourage you guys, go out there. See for yourselves. Experiment a bit. Ask people. Maybe one day our world will be more trusting. I know I'm going to start living my life with a little more of this assumed trust. Call me naive, but I've got a really good feeling about it.